I wanted to talk about this because I saw Actman talking about it, and obviously I talked about it during Gamescom as well. This is a Call of Duty screenshot from the trailer. Well, number one, the skins look very interesting. Number two, like the amount of pre-order things, beta, early access, actual launch, like this is modern gaming in a nutshell, right? I don't particularly care about this anymore. I kind of laugh at it a little bit and I move on, right? But I saw GameRanks made a video about it, so it seems like a lot of people share the same opinion. And I wanted to watch this video because I think the biggest thing, I just saw this in the corner of my eye, I think the biggest thing about this is Fortnite. I even made a video about this as well. I think Fortnite has ruined the whole generation of video games because of like weird collabs and weird crossovers and weird things that no one really ever likes because they break immersion to a video game. But they make money. So let's watch this video. This is a video by GameRanks called "What the Hell is Going On with Call of Duty?"
Have you turned on Call of Duty recently? Well, if you have, you might notice how off.
The last Call of Duty I played seriously was Modern Warfare 3. That's the last one I played seriously. Like, I was actually like, this is the best thing ever. Modern Warfare 1, that's probably my most played game. But Modern Warfare 3 is the last one I played seriously. I dropped off around Black Ops 2.
Things are. Something just doesn't feel right in Call of Duty land. For the past few years, it's had its fair share of goofy operator skins and hideous Technicolor gun camos. But even by accepting all the goofy stuff that's been going on with the series for a while, the multiplayer just doesn't feel like Call of Duty anymore. The siren song of cross-promotion has invaded the military shooter with the BS pop culture detritus, and it's just not sitting right with fans.
I think like they started decreasing time to kill very drastically in Black Ops 2, I think. I think time to kill in Black Ops 2 was way shorter than it was previously, and I think that's one of the things where I was like, what's going on? Because it became like faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, and I didn't really like that pacing in the game, if that makes sense. Because the old Modern Warfare games, they were way slower paced. And that's just what I like in a shooter, right? It's the same reason why I always like PUBG over Fortnite. It's just a pacing thing.
With Battlefield 6 on the horizon, and the developers behind that game promising more subdued skins, it only further emphasizes just out of control the skin situation in Call of Duty.
We just saw this happen.
More subdued skins, it only further...
Is that One Punch Man? I don't know.
It's just out of control the skin situation Call of Duty's gotten. The recent reveal of Beavis and Butthead may have been the straw that broke the camel's back.
I saw this and I made a video about this and people were apparently mad.
For a lot of people, because, I mean, look at them. They're Fortnite characters in this context. But the whole operator skin situation's been brewing for a while now. The American Dad skins are just as bad, but maybe players were willing to accept them as just a one-time thing. But with Beavis and Butthead, it's pretty clear that the cartoony skins are not over. For a lot of fans, that means Call of Duty has jumped the shark. It's gone way too far with this stuff, from a relatively serious series to a cartoon. And maybe that wouldn't be so bad, but the problem is that the series continues to sell itself as a military shooter to be taken seriously. So when you throw in literal...
I think there is a very drastic like clash in visions and what it's trying to even do. Yeah, this is GameRanks. This is GameRanks. Looks like a heavily modded game. It does. And it looks like weirdly... It's... All of this is about a vibe to me. And that's the thing, like, I think there will be a lot of people who kind of think that you're nitpicking, and I can totally see this. To me, this is all about a vibe. There are mechanical things that I don't like in modern Call of Duties, but most of this is like, I see this, I roll my eyes, I don't want to play the game. It's just a complete vibe shift to me. It's the same thing with, like, modern WoW.
Cartoon characters, like
it's a vibe.
The dumbest of the dumb. And that's not an insult towards Beavis and Butthead. That's just intentionally a very dumb cartoon. But there's a massive disconnect that comes along with that. Contrast what the average Call of Duty match looks like compared to Battlefield 6, and it's hard not to think that the series has lost its way.
You know what's the best illustration of this? Think about the aura, the raw aura that Helldivers 2 had. Think about watching Helldivers 2 clips. The actual full-blown hype man aura would that ever exist if these two Beavis and whatever the hell his name was were running around? No. It would look like a meme. You know the meme of have you modded the game? It's literally this.
You always play on controller.
Okay, but different all of a sudden. She looks like Tomb Raider.
That's weird. Did you put a fucking mod in this? No.
This is what I mean. Like, he's funny. Did
like
you
Tomb
put
Raider.
a mod in this and it's freaking... it's Halo. I don't like it. I hate it. It's a vibe.
So there's a lot to talk about here. Hi, folks. It's Falcon, and today on Game Ranks. So what the hell is going on with
throwing random cameos in movies to manufacture hype or nostalgia? It is. Like, to me, it's a literal billboard. It's like a weird advertisement to make money. It breaks immersion.
All right. Skins are where the conversation starts, but it does not end there. Far from it. The whole thing started with what could otherwise be an innocuous Reddit post with a simple image comparing the original Call of Duty to whatever is going on in Black Ops 6 multiplayer, showing skins of, and I'm completely serious here, this is where we're at with the game, Seth Rogen and the superhero duo of Bluntman and Chronic, Jay and Silent Bob. I mean, good on our man Kevin Smith for getting the bag, but what? And those are some of the more reasonable operator skins they put in the game recently, because at least they're based on people, like human beings that physically exist in the world. At the same time, is what I'm getting at, is
I think you should very, very carefully examine if you ever put real human beings in your game, by the way. Because everyone is 13 seconds away from doing something incredibly dumb, and they'll be canceled, and then your whole game is going to be thrown into a weird culture war, just FYI.
The Beavis and Butthead skins came around. They're literal cel-shaded cartoon characters slapped into the usually gritty, realistic world of Call of Duty, a military shooter, a war zone, literally, like several of the games are called Warzone, and it's just really hard to ignore player complaints that the series has been slowly evolving into Fortnite when they're literally just putting characters that, I mean...
I don't think it's slow now. I think they just, like, embraced it. I think they're diving headfirst.
And not, like, adapted to the real... I don't know if you could adapt Beavis and Butthead to the realistic aesthetic without it looking like a Ren and Stimpy or SpongeBob close-up. But, I mean, they aren't doing that. It's just... they're literally just doing what Fortnite does. Discontent with the direction Activision has been taking with the series the past few years has been building. Something that should be building is our subscriber count. Did you know how many of you are not subscribed? A lot. It's a large percentage. Too many. I mean,
this is
you
true
can
for
help
my
us
channel
out
as
and
well.
help yourself out if you like new Game Ranks videos popping up in your feed by clicking subscribe. But yeah, discontent.
Y'all
with the
gotta
direction
stop
Activision
watching without
has been
subbing.
building. It's been spurred on by a few less than stellar entries to the series and the obvious internal struggles of the game's many internal studios that we've heard plenty about over the last few years. Modern Warfare 3, regardless of the improvements it made to the multiplayer game, was a blatantly incomplete mess of a video game that should not have been full price when the whole thing was reheated leftovers from the canceled
It's not even full price now. They're doing the $80 thing baseline because they want you on Xbox Game Pass. So it's like not full price, it's actually the new full price, just FYI.
Modern Warfare 2 remake multiplayer and a campaign that was mostly a series of multiplayer maps stitched together into what was the most disappointing campaign for the fan base that, I mean, I can remember. Like, people were not happy. The developer struggles are obvious even now, with Black Ops 6 immediately getting followed up with Black Ops 7. That's the first time we've gotten Black Ops games back to back, and from the same lead developers, no less. That means that Treyarch and Raven are putting out 2 games in just 2 years, when these things are supposed to have 3-year release cycles, where developers like Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward alternate between releases. Of course, we're past the point of just one developer working on one game. All these studios are supported by smaller studios, multiple smaller studios, still within Activision, like the terminally wasted High Moon Studios. But the fact that Black Ops 6 and 7 are coming out back to back just doesn't paint a particularly positive picture about what's going on behind the scenes at Activision. The devs try to paint it as a good thing, as is their job to do. They apparently started development on Black Ops 6.
Well, you see, you're actually going to get more games to buy, you see.
and 7 at the same time, but 2 Black Ops games back-to-back could not have been the original plan. Reading between the lines, this year's Call of Duty feels like it's going to be another one of those off years for the series. Even if it could end up proving us wrong, it's a feeling that at least right now, leading up to the game's release, it's...
I haven't played it long enough to know if there are any meaningful, like, fundamental changes that require a new installment. Because why couldn't they just make Call of Duty Black Ops and then continuously update it with new campaign segments or something like that? Does the gunplay actually change that much between 6 and 7? I kind of don't believe it does. Like, in my brain, this is literally them wanting to sell you a new copy. This is FIFA. Nothing changes. It's the same game, repackaged. Again.
People are not, the hype is not reaching fever pitch as it sometimes can. Expectations are pretty low for Black Ops 7, and Battlefield 6 is getting a lot of praise and positivity from its betas. The franchise
does
is not
look very
in
cool.
a particularly good place right now. It just doesn't help that the series' identity has been slowly eroded by all these crossover brand deals. It just makes it look bad. Like you have stuff that hasn't worked, along with all this crap that doesn't need to be there. It's just not. It gives you the willies when you really think about it. For such a long-running series, the whole Fortnite-ification of Call of Duty really only started in the last half-decade or so. They dipped their toes into crossover stuff with some safe bets like John McClane from Die Hard, Judge Dredd, Rambo. Stuff that, I mean, while it's certainly not Call of Duty, it doesn't feel so...
And I think that's the biggest thing. I think even if you had Rambo, which looks totally in-universe, it looks totally fine, it breaks immersion. Breaks the aura. Because this is not Call of Duty, that's Rambo. It's not right. Shouldn't be there.
Out of place.
Doesn't make
that
sense.
It messes things up. And then with Vanguard, they took a big leap into the microtransaction deep end with that bizarre Attack on Titan crossover. Like, in all seriousness, Rambo does not look out of place with the rest of Call of Duty's real-world military milieu, but the Armored Titan certainly does. It looks ridiculous, as does their attempt to bring some costumes from the...
Looks so bad. Oh my god, it looks so bad.
Series, like this widely ridiculed Levi crossplay costume. It's laughably bad. Still, I will take this, where they at least tried to adapt the anime style into a more realistic Call of Duty one, over what they're doing now with American Dad and Beavis and Butthead, where they don't try to adapt them. In fact, they do things that probably required special scripting.
Obsessed with the Armor Titan for crossovers
in the game that looked like that. Like cell shading is in Call of Duty now, and not like on all the characters and all the backgrounds, but on some characters. Like even Fortnite changes things to fit its...
It's almost as if it was specifically made as a product and packaged neatly with a new like what's it called? New value proposition for you to buy it, right? Because look at it, it's different. It's cel-shaded now. Almost as if that was the intention all along. It's not a clever little thing that they added. It's that's the selling point.
Style. To be fair, it's because it is a more stylized thing. When they have more realistic human characters, they turn them into cartoons. And when they have cartoons,
Hatsune
they adapt the
Miku?
cartoon style to at least kind of fit into the Fortnite world. Peter Griffin comes to mind. But again, I want to call some attention to the fact that a realistic version of...
Because you know why I think it works with Fortnite but doesn't with Call of Duty? Because Fortnite never had an identity. Fortnite was a failed experiment that was spun off into a battle royale that somehow popped off. And I think that's why they could add anything to it, and it kind of worked. Because it had no established identity at all. Whereas with Call of Duty, I mean, I played it growing up. It feels like a lot of people played it growing up. And watching a military shooter become a flashy advertising board for other companies that paid us money is a bit cringe.
Beavis and Butthead would likely look like Ren and Stimpy or SpongeBob close-ups. I'm not gonna go with that because like you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. There, like yeah, you could adopt the style. That would maybe be a bit more of a travesty, though. I don't know if I need to see Beavis and Butthead look like that. I don't know. Maybe they could go for the Ryan Gosling and other guy on SNL versions. I don't know. I don't think that would necessarily undo everything that needs to be undone, though. In the short term, all these crossover deals and brand extensions probably make sense. I'm sure Activision is getting money for advertising. People like seeing IPs they recognize.
They are. There's a lot of people who are just gonna buy this stuff. It's never gonna stop. It's only gonna get worse. Microtransactions are never going away. People are gonna keep buying them. And that makes me so sad. Makes me so sad.
And they are charging absurd prices on operator skins. Seriously, $20.
I will literally go into politics and ban these goddamn doubloons. The only reason why this exists is to obfuscate the real value of money. There are no 200 Club Penguin points. I don't know what this is. And bonuses. This should be made illegal. This drives me insane. You put a price on it.
Bucks is generally the minimum floor for this stuff,
Oh my god.
Crazy for what?
Oh, look at this. 2,400 Club Penguin points. No. It's $24 or something. No way it's $24. Wait, no way this is $24. It's Oh yeah, and look at how cute this is. See how you spend $20 and get 400 bonus, right?
Floor for this that has off crazy for
2,400. Isn't that a funny coincidence? But if you want this, man, I love the pricing on this. I love the pricing on this. Halo Infinite has $20 cat ears that only work for a couple of helmets. I look at this and who buys? How much disposable income do you need to buy this stuff? I can't even imagine the amount of money I'd have to be making to start buying this stuff. Because I don't think this is like a gamer buying their favorite skin and that's it. Like they buy one thing and that's it, right? Not to mention this is a full-priced video game. Full-priced video game with, I think, also a battle pass. It's not even talk about that. And the fact that it only lasts 1 year. This is a game you bought for a life cycle of 1 year for $80, and you're going to be spending $24 on a skin. Insane to me. But there have to be more people spending even more money, right? Because, like,
what is essentially an avatar in a game that has new versions of it come out every year.
$80 for 1 year of support. $80! 1 year! And people say World of Warcraft is expensive, bro.
And I'm sure Activision and now Microsoft are super happy with the money they're making, again, short term on this stuff. But the result is that it's diluting the Call of Duty brand. It's starting to feel less like its own thing and more like a Fortnite imitator. And, well, I think we know how.
I think all it takes is one game to come out and just to have better gunplay, and he's gonna be dead in the water.
How that market goes, you can't beat Fortnite at Fortnite. And the people who play these games for the tactical aspect, they're not happy with this shift to kid-friendly, multicolored clown nose nonsense. I wouldn't call it that if, I mean, it weren't Call of Duty either. Like, in Fortnite, it makes perfect sense. I have nothing insulting to say.
Exactly. Because Fortnite never had an identity. They just added stuff.
But this is a sharp and gritty and realistic game. It's not supposed to look like, you know, Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or something, you know? Or MTV in the mid to late 90s. Like, these games are still rated mature. They still deal with serious subject matter, even if the campaigns are slowly slipping into exaggerated Fast and Furious level storytelling. The Black Ops series is especially known for its dark subject matter. These were games that were somehow even darker than the main. I
don't know, bro. I watched the trailer for the new Black Ops, and well, serious subject matter and dark and gritty are probably the last descriptors I would
modern
use.
warfare titles, and the whiplash between the way the game presents itself in multiplayer and that, even if the campaign isn't great, or hey, it could be great, I don't know, maybe they'll give us a really good campaign and it'll be really gritty and dark and we won't know what the fuck to think when we turn multiplayer on. I don't know, but it's jarring. It's super jarring.
That's almost better. Imagine playing like this dark political thriller and then you see this in the multiplayer. Actually, no, that wouldn't happen because you open up the game, you're going to get blasted with the skin. You're not even going to load into the game, you're already going to see this, so that's not even going to be funny. Like, you're going to load into the game, first thing you're going to see on the main menu is, do you want to buy this for 75 doubloons?
Whether it's good or not, the presentation is just super jarring. Like with Fortnite, it makes sense. The tone is consistent. Fortnite is cartoony, and everything is cartoony in Fortnite. For Activision's part, they do at least seem to be aware of the complaints. After Black Ops 7 was revealed, they acknowledged the cosmetics complaints
I don't buy
with a
it.
statement that said they would calibrate the operator skins in Black Ops.
Which means they're going to calibrate it to see how much money they made. And they're going to calibrate the next skin to make that same amount of money, or maybe higher amount of money. That's it. Because you need one weir so back, and then you could afford one weir. It's so over.
7, according to player feedback. It's one of those corporate non-statements, though, where they say stuff like, "We're listening, we hear you.
Yeah,
Our
exactly.
ears are open. The words are coming out of your mouth. The sound waves, they're traveling towards our ears. They're entering our ear canals. It's vibrating our eardrums, which, as you know, are swirled tunnels with tiny hairs that pick up on vibrations in the air. Those vibrations are coming from your mouth. They're words. We can hear them. We're listening." You're calibrating the skins. You're gonna calibrate Beavis for me, huh? Cornholio status calibrated. I don't know. It's really impossible to say if they're actually doing anything or if they're just talking.
I don't think
just
they are.
saying words. I don't know. Maybe in Black Ops 7 they will maybe take a few steps back from the slippery slope. Even though, if we're gonna be serious here, they have jumped off of that slope. There was a shark at the bottom of that slope. They cleared the shark with that jump, and they have not looked back. I mean, it's kind of meaningless because all the skins and gun camos that do carry over into at least season 1, they're here for at least that period of time.
So at least you do keep them for a little bit. Okay, that's not that bad, I guess. Because I thought you bought them for 1 year of support.
Least. With Black Ops 7's focus on cyberpunk stuff, I feel like they're probably going to go further with the wacky skins. A sci-fi setting that heavily emphasizes virtual reality means that it's easier to justify whatever ridiculous nonsense they put into the game. I mean, I'm not going to lie, there is a possibility that you could play that in a way that does reflect some kind of dystopian weirdness that exists within our actual society today, making it good commentary. But also, have I described a situation in which
I mean, I think looking at this game, it's already a commentary on the current society as it exists today. It's a polluted, weird marketplace where you could buy skins that do not fit in the artistic expression, yet they are still there because they make more money. It is almost like it's almost commentary in and of itself. You just look at the game, it's already there. You don't even need to tell a story. The story tells itself. It's 4D storytelling.
it sounds like that's gonna be the direction.
They need to have a guy in the campaign say, like, look at me, I am the face of this world, and he needs to start changing skins. That's what he needs to do. He needs to start Fortnite dancing.
And they go, like, the setup is pretty important for the punchline. In fact, arguably more important. And the setup, up until this point of the video, does not indicate that there's going to be a good punchline. It is a joke, though. It is a joke. We can say
some of the
that,
skins
at
look
the very
so
least.
bad, too.
With that, though, it may be a little easier to see why they've shifted to focusing more on Black Ops as a sub-series, where they can make games that are a little more disconnected from real-world politics that could cost them international sales. With games like this, everything is calculated to make as much money as possible. But if they go too far with that whole profit thing, it's gonna piss people off. Critics, fans alike don't like that. It seems like Call of Duty is an unbreakable
Clearly they
juggernaut
do.
that's never going to go away. It's just something we're all probably stuck with for the rest of our gaming lives, whether we like it or not. But it's not necessarily the case. A lot of things seem permanent.
I don't think so. I think if they mess up a few times in a row, most people are going to migrate over because the barrier to entry to Call of Duty is big. $80 plus whatever else they cost, that is a big barrier to it. This is not a free-to-play game where people can move around easily, right? And you don't necessarily, like, because they pump out these games so quickly, you don't have sunk cost as something like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy have either. The reason why World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, and RuneScape will never die is because people have practically lived another life in that video game. That is not the case for Call of Duty. I have played hundreds of hours of Call of Duty. I turned it off like that. Never care about it for another day, right? Now, there is still, like, social links there. That's true. But I think if they mess up a few times in a row and a better shooter comes around, I don't think brand loyalty is that strong with this. Because I don't think there's really much reason for there to be brand loyalty.
That aren't necessarily.
There's not
And a lot
much
of
to
things
latch
can change.
onto.
Maybe Battlefield 6 will
But I don't
humble
know.
the mighty Call of Duty this year, and maybe that could cause a response in Call of Duty. Or maybe not. It's honestly impossible to say. It's a series that has survived multiple catastrophic games that would sink a less resilient one. If it can bounce back after Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 4, the series can survive basically anything. I don't think it's going to be one game or some bad microtransactions that finally end up sinking Call of Duty.
A couple
It would
of things,
take
yeah.
A whole lot of factors coming together for the series to finally fall off its pedestal as the most profitable game of whatever year it releases in. There's no denying that Call of Duty is a monolith in the industry.
'Cause
it has
I think you can look at the way PUBG slowly faded out for like a similar example of how that happened, right? Because PUBG is still, if you look at Steam numbers, is still played by a lot of, it's a very big game, but not in the West. A lot of people in the West don't play PUBG anymore. And I think that is a nice microcosm of how that happens. Now, again, PUBG was only around for a little while. Call of Duty has been around for 2 decades. So it's a bit different.
500 million
But
games total in the 22 years it's existed in. The series is here to say, like, even if Activision sells off any credibility the series might have had, it's been a long time coming, but general opinions about these games are starting to shift, and bizarrely, it does seem like the Beavis and Butthead skin kind of really kicked it off. It's not that it was so incredibly bad, it's just that for a lot of players, it's the last straw. For years, players were putting up with dumb operator skins like Skeletor and the Fallout stuff and Gundam and Nicki Minaj and that one based on that god-awful Crow remake for whatever reason. All that, it was bad, it is out of place, but the cartoon skins, as of late, seem like they're just too much. And compared to Battlefield 6, it's like night and day. It's still possible
aura.
DICE could screw it up.
Bro, when I look at Battlefield 6, it's the only thing I don't like about Battlefield 6 is it plays seemingly very similar to Call of Duty and not like Battlefield. That's my only gripe with Battlefield 6 so far. But it looks aura. It has
They have a habit
aura.
of snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, but at least at the time of writing, it does seem like Battlefield has a chance to
You see freaking jets flying in, they shoot rockets, the whole building blows up, you're going in there with the boys. Oh my god, that's aura.
overtake Call of Duty at least this year. Maybe in hindsight, that will seem ridiculous because, let me remind you, this entire conversation kicked off because people were tired of the goofy-ass skins dominating Call of Duty. Could really be a gamer bubble situation where the whole thing seems like a huge conversation, but the wider casual gaming audience who are buying all of these hideous skins couldn't care less. Keep in mind, Call of Duty, while yes, the core gaming demographic does care for it, so does the not core gaming demographic. In order to
Yeah,
sell
because I think with the skins, in a weird way, I think it... I don't know. Because if I was a super casual dad, and I played my Call of Duty, because it's a serious shooter game, and if I saw the Armor Titan running around, I think I would care more than me sitting right now who actually knows what the Armor Titan is. Like, in a weird way, I feel like wouldn't this affect the casual audience even more in terms of perception? I don't know.
500 million copies of games, even over that period of time.
Because I'm just thinking about explaining this to a 40-year-old dude who's like military shooter. Why are cartoons running around? Right? Like that's the first thing that I would ask. You try and sell your friend on a military shooter, they see a cartoon. Like, I think this would be easier to explain to a terminally online person than a dad.
You have to appeal to people who are not hardcore, and as such, Call of Duty just continues to be an anomaly. It continues to defy all expectations. So you really can't say what's going to happen. It's still around. It still continues to dominate the sales charts. It's a series that just seemingly cannot die, no matter how many times Activision screws up. And Activision is Activision. We know they are good at screwing up. Perhaps this year will be different. I am not discounting the possibility, but I'm also not counting on it. They're making money hand over fist, so our complaints might barely even register. Remember, they're listening, they hear us. With how things seem to be doing internally, Modern Warfare 4 is probably going to get delayed again, and we'll somehow get Black Ops 8, and that'll make Modern Warfare 3 look like a masterpiece of completion in comparison. Could be that all of this is unnecessary and things turn out fine. Could be that they don't. I mean, look at Beavis and Butthead. You're looking at footage of Call of Duty. I mean, I like I still like Call of Duty, but that doesn't mean they're not long past their due for a big decline if they don't understand that they're at a crossroads. And if they don't turn things around, this could be where that decline starts. If anything's gonna do it, it's this, but all.
Personally, I do still want a new large-scale military shooter. I think BattleBit was the best gaming experience in terms of selling the aura that I want, that I've had recently. And, well, I mean, yeah, now, it hasn't had updates in a long time. This was the vibe that I'm going for. Now, this is a silly-looking block game, but this is the vibe that I want. If Battlefield 6 can deliver on this, I would be playing Battlefield 6. Because in my head, this looks epic. In my head, this is aura, right? If I look at Call of Duty, it doesn't have that. Not in the slightest. But the old Call of Duty games did. They felt epic.
Also, I don't know if anything's gonna do it. What do you think, though? Leave us a comment. Let us know. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription. So click subscribe.
Game ranks.
Don't forget to enable notifications.
There it is.
And as always,
I'll
thank
link
you
it
very
in
much
chat.
for watching this
Game
video.
ranks.
I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter, Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on Game Ranks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is like cope, that maybe they're finally going to stop doing these weird collabs. I have been talking about how I don't like collabs for as long as I've been talking about anything. I think like the biggest thing with collabs is just you're revealing the fact that you don't really have a vision. Like, you need to rely on something else to make the game interesting. You need a literal other IP to be a crutch for the lack of your own IP. I find that very cringe, excruciatingly boring, and it just breaks my whole immersion of the game. I don't want to be a part of it. But again, like, they don't care about me. I stopped playing Call of Duty years ago. So in terms of Activision's research, and in terms of calibrating the skins, they don't care about me, because I haven't given them money in a decade, if not more. So I mean, what do I know? What do I know? I just hope that Battlefield 6 is good enough that it shows Call of Duty that, hey, wait a minute, what if we just made a cool shooter? What if we just made it cool and not have anime characters? Maybe.